An urgent appeal to all people and organizations of goodwill from the Wollagga Elders Council of Minesota, or WECM, on the continued state of war against our people in Wollagga and several places in Western Showa, Northern Showa, Gucci and Halaa Oromoon in Oromia. The latest news we get from back home and what our people are going through is heartbreaking and extremely saddening, to say the least. During the month of April this year, we issued 2 statements in support of and encouraging the peace talks organized by the international community that was held on the island of Zanzibar in Tanzania between the Ethiopian government and the Oromo Liberation Army, or the OLA. It was a promising move after many years of suffering for our people, not being able to move around to work in their fields, or the small traders all unable to work and support their families. In addition, they were and still are terrorized, not knowing when government security forces come around, take out the innocent powerless people and the children in front of their parents, etc. At the start of the peace talks, there was a glimmer of hope for peace for our people, the ordinary people, the innocents suffering for no reason whatsoever. Following what appeared to be a pause of the peace talks, the statement put out by the government on the progress of the talks indicated that, although full agreement was not reached, there was a positive and encouraging sign that both parties would get to it and resume the negotiation. But after a while, over the last 2 to 3 months and lately, we have been hearing a very discouraging news that serious fighting resumed and is going on again at several places in Oromia, especially with the focus over Wollagga. Because of the conflict that has raged these areas for years, people do not have anything to feed their families, children are not going to school, malaria has become rampant, hospitals are not functioning, basic medicines are not available, thus our people are in a desperate situation. On top of that, unprecedented human tragedy is unfolding in the recent week. We learned that in a place called Kiltuk Arra in West Wollagga, the government forces took out 5 young people from their homes, forced them to dig their own graves and buried them in it alive. In the following week, in Mendi town of West Wollagga, another 2 young men, Wakgari Chali and Bona Tujuba, were shot and killed in broad daylight. Similar incidents have become common in Oromia. The prevalence of such criminal acts in a country that claims to have an ancient history, that is led by a Nobel Peace Prize winner, that has a population that is overtly religious, and that has seemingly civilized elite is difficult to imagine. Things have fundamentally gone wrong. By our silence, we all fail, not only our people, but the entire humanity. Please, can we all dare come out and say something? Be the voice for the voiceless. In Galatians 5:15, the Apostle Paul says, if you continue to bite one another, be careful that you don't devour and destroy one another. We members of WECM, though heartbroken, never give up, thus again appeal to all parties, all people of goodwill, to commit ourselves to resolving the present predicament our people are put in without their fault, and seek the way to stop the conflicts. 1. The killing of civilians must stop, and those who committed such crimes must appear in court. 2. Although it may sound naive to some people, we, members of WECM, again appeal to the Oromo people at home and abroad to put aside all our minor differences and be a voice for innocent civilians. We also would like to extend our request again to the countries and organizations that were involved in the first round of peace talks, the Norwegians, Kenyans, the US and Tanzanian governments, to put pressure on the Ethiopian government's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed to seek a peaceful solution for this conflict. We wish and hope for genuine peace for the Oromo people who are more affected at present, and all people of Ethiopia to have God's peace.